What were you doing 2 weeks ago? That was July 21st. Now that seems like a long time ago, and you might be hard-pressed to recall some of the events of those couple weeks. But not so for St. Paul and 275 others in the devotional reading today. It comes from Acts chapter 27, various verses. It was decided we should set sail for Italy, and they delivered Paul and some others to a centurion. And embarking on a ship which was about to set sail along the coast of Asia, we put to sea. But soon a tempestuous wind struck down from the land. And when the ship was caught and we could not face the wind, we gave way to it and were driven along. When the 14th night had come, as we were being driven across the Adriatic Sea, about midnight, the sailors suspected that we were nearing land. As day was about to dawn, Paul urged them all to take some food, saying, "Today is the 14th day that you have continued in suspense and without food, having taken nothing. Therefore I urge you to take some food, for it will give you strength, for not a hair is to perish from the head of any of you." And when he had said these things, he took bread, and giving thanks to God in the presence of all, he broke it and began to eat. Then they all were encouraged and ate some food themselves. We were in all 276 persons in the ship. And when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship, throwing out the wheat into the sea. A lot happened in 2 weeks. One, they neglected what was good for them in the stress of the storm. It's understandable, but not a good thing. Paul pointed out they needed their strength. Neglecting what's good for us in the midst of our global events right now can wear you out and sap your strength. Let's learn to keep up our nourishment, especially on God's Word. It gives us what we need in our stormy days. Secondly, I want to point out that Paul gave thanks to God in the midst of all 276 people, and they ate. Paul set an example for everyone on that ship by both giving thanks to God and then eating. It's reported that everyone was thus encouraged, and then everyone ate. Again, we learn from Paul to give thanks to God in the midst of troubles and then acting on that thanksgiving. By doing so, who knows who you may be encouraging? And then last, they threw the rest of the wheat into the sea to lighten the ship. That can't have been an easy thing to do. Here you have this resource, and now you're literally tossing it overboard. There comes a point when some things simply need to be let go of, when they become a hindrance to your health and safety. God had given his word to Paul that all would be saved, and that led Paul to trusting God to provide for their current and their future needs. Again, in the midst of our changes and stormy seas, we can let go of some of the things of this world that we have trusted in for so long and allow ourselves a fresh way of trusting God and his goodness and his rich supply for us. God's peace to you today. Goodbye.